Hi, thank you so much for joining me. I am Bette Vargas, and I educate overwhelmed, overworked, and potentially overweight women who are pre, peri, and post-menopause, and I help them to live more vibrantly through better applications of my 3 keys: mindset, meals, and movement. Listen, your girl had to put a pause on menopause, on this menopause channel for a minute, but guess what? I am back. I will get to that series of stories and future videos, so stay tuned. But today, I have a powerful group of women that you need to meet. They've all made super bold decisions to leave the familiar to venture into the unknown, and they are living life so vibrantly and doing it with ease and so much grace. And so I just can't wait for you to meet them. Here we are. We're going to start with Keisha Mitchell. Keisha, let me just tell you a little bit about Keisha. Where is her bio here? She is 53, and for over 10 years, she has been a consultant and coach to high-achieving women entrepreneurs and leaders, helping them to grow bold, intentional businesses rooted in strategy, spirit, and freedom. Knowing that success without spaciousness isn't sustainable, Keisha supports her clients to build their businesses with audacity, clarity, and ease. Keisha is also the founder of Elevate Your Now, the creator of the Audacity to Be Free framework, and she hosts international transformational retreats. Keisha and her family made the audacious move to travel around the world for an entire year before settling in Panama. Hello, Keisha. Next,
Hello.
next we have Tendai. At 77, Tendai Jordan supports challenges and uplifts women to discover who they are, step into their power, give their gifts, and live totally on purpose. As an embracing life coach, licensed spiritual practitioner, and women's advocate for over 15 years, Tendai is the creator of Embracing Your Life course and has collaborated with women around the world on her 5 Powerful Women project. She has had the privilege to speak nationally and internationally on the power of women at women's leadership conferences, and Tendai is the author of the book, What to Do When You Don't Know What to Do, and she has an ebook, BaddAss Boundaries, Say No and Take Your Life Back. Good morning, Tendai.
Good morning, everyone. So happy to be here.
Now we have Emily Christensen. She is 51, a teacher, multilingual entrepreneur, writer, mom, and wife. She's also a network marketer building multiple income streams, including a delightful book entitled A Thought a Day. Emily believes health is wealth and understanding our bodies is key. She helps women upgrade their mindset so they can live healthier, fuller lives. Emily is passionate about traveling, great food, family, and friends. She's all about aging gracefully and loves living in the moment and dreaming big. Hi, Emily.
Hello.
And last but not least, we have Camille Kane, who is 67 and moved to Puerto Rico in the summer of 2021. and she can't see herself living anywhere else. She is semi-retired and moved from California to be with her family. Camille currently teaches at the university and stays busy with aqua aerobics, Zumba, her crochet group, a book club, exploring the island with friends, enjoying movies with her grandchildren, the beach, and just loving life. She occasionally walks in 5K races. Can you say what? And says that staying active is key to longevity and Puerto Rico makes it easy. Hey, Camille. Hello, ladies. How are you? I am so excited for this day. How are you doing?
Great.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent. Now and while we're here, I'm going to acknowledge some of our guests who are chiming in. Hold on one second here. Let me look at our comments. Oh, okay. Hey, Camille, busy lady, Angelo says. But wait, hold on now. Let me see. All right. We've got Kim Benfield. Hi. She says, hey, Camille. This Kim Benford.
Kim is a very good friend of mine who lives in California.
Okay. And then let's see, who else do we have here? Bob. Okay. Oops. Okay, I'm messing up here. Y'all be patient with me for 1 second. Hold on. Let's see what we got here. Okay, Bob Flidge says my name is Teresa Henderson. Okay, hi Teresa. She said she didn't realize she was on her daughter's YouTube. That's okay. And then Pam G says, hey Pam. How you doing? Okay, here we go. She says, hey y'all. So, Pam, okay, now I got it going on. Okay, Pam says, glad to be here. I figured it out, y'all. I figured it out. I got it. Oh, check it out. Alicia McCauley. Hey, Alicia. She says, hey, y'all. Girl, we got a full house today. Uh-oh. This is gonna be fun. Let me see. Troy Tinsley. Hey, Camille. Okay, Camille brought her tribe. What's up? Okay, and Teresa says it's good to be here. It's my first time. Well, welcome, and I am extending an invitation to you to subscribe. Okay, ladies. So let's get this party started. Now, we've talked about menopause, we've talked about traveling, going around the world and everything, and we're just going to start with the move. And I'm going to share a little story with you guys. This was many, many years ago, right? Well, shortly after I had graduated college. I'm originally from Chicago, which many people don't know. But what happened was when I graduated, one of my father's friends gave me a gift as a trip to New York. So I went to New York. I had a fabulous time, and I was like, "Oh, I want to move here." And so her friend said, "Are you serious about that?" And I was like, "Yes." So when I got home, but before I got home, she had already called me back and asked me if I was interested in a job. So I was like, "What? Yes." And I packed up my apartment, sold all of my furniture, and moved literally within 2 weeks of being back. And see, you could do that when you're young. And so when I got to New York, I was like, Oh my God. I was listening to the radio, and on the radio station, the DJ said, and live from New York, da 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 da. And I was like, oh my God, I'm in New York. What have I done? So I was in an area that was absolutely unfamiliar to me. I only knew one person. And so I was like, oh Lord, what am I going to do? So my question to you ladies is, what was your WTF moment when you moved to the space that you're at now? And Keisha, I'll start with you.
Sure. I mean, we have so many WTF moments, okay, in almost every country
Oh
that we
my
travel.
goodness.
I will say though, the interesting thing is, especially since we are talking about, menopause today and our bodies and everything, my WTF moment was the fact that when we got here, the day that we got on the plane, I pinched a nerve in my back because we had been packing and moving and all the boxes. And so I could barely stand up. Like I was in so much pain. It
Oh
felt like
my
labor. And so my moment really was that I was in this place that we had manifested. It was beautiful. We were in the high rise overlooking the ocean. And I had to like constantly take Tylenol and like go lay down. And it said to me, my body said, this is time to rest. Like this is no longer a time to like go, go, go and do, do, do. And my body was like, we know you ain't gonna do that. So we gonna sit your behind down. So kind of my WTF moment. It was like, we've done all of this, we're here. And my body was like, rest, be still.
Yeah, it's important because all of the excitement, all of the tension, all of the just the stress of
Yes.
moving from one place to the next to the and finally when you're in that one place, it's like your body just and it makes
Yep.
you do that. It literally makes you do that. So
Yeah.
thank you for that. What about you, Tendai?
Thank you for the question. And I was sitting here thinking, now what was that? Because before I made the final so-called move, I had been there several times, so I had an idea of what was going on. But I think what happened for me was just getting used to the flow of things there. I moved
Mm-hmm.
there in a time where it's not the best time to move to Brazil, in northern Brazil. It wasn't a good time to move. Had I known, I probably would have selected another time. So when I got there, it was during called high season,
And what
where
is
all
that?
the tourists come. It's summertime. The place is flooded. Everybody's getting their Airbnbs and their apartments and their hotels. And so that's the time I went there. So I'm like, well, WTF? Where's my place? So I'm looking for apartment to live in, like long term.
Yeah.
And they were three times as high as the usual time. So that's what happened to me, is like, so it was difficult for me to find a place because the realtors are looking for someone who wants to rent for three times as much as they usually get. And I wasn't trying to do that at that time. That wasn't on my list of my budget. So I'm
Oh
like,
my gosh.
I finally found a good realtor and somebody that heard me. I mean, they really listened to what I wanted and found me a place that I could negotiate. Okay, this is the other thing. It's like saying, I'm like, this is maybe not really what I'm looking for. They say, make an offer. That's the term they say all the time. Make an offer, make an offer. So I finally got in a nice place and went through I had to move out of my apartment during the high season. Okay.
Oh
And
wow.
then move back a month or 6 weeks later, so that I'm not paying the high prices. But where am I moving to? Okay. So
Oh
anyway,
my.
it's just it interesting. And I'm in my third place now because I've had to move around that situation, and I've been looking for a place where I didn't have to like three times as much. Okay, but it works. It works.
Oh my goodness.
Just keep on.
Yeah, and I see you have a big smile on your face. So it's working out. It's working out.
It's working out.
Learning the ropes, right?
It's working out. Just being patient with yourself and with the situation and listening. You know.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I hear you. Now, Emily, you've lived in several different locations.
Oh, yeah.
What's one of your WTF moments?
You know, deciding to settle in the north, like Norway. Many people know Sweden. Many people talk about Denmark, but Norway is like the unknown to many people. So they were like, "Oh my God, are you gonna survive there?" So the funny thing is that I've been moving in countries and living in countries where it's cold for many years. But when I arrived here, my moments was when people were feeling sorry for me, like, "Oh my God, are you gonna survive the cold?" And I'm like, "Well, hold on a minute here. It's not the first time I live in the cold." So many people actually thought that I came right from Africa where it's warm and nice, and then I end up in the country where winter is 6 months now, you know.
Oh
So
my
that was the moment.
gosh.
So I had these strange questions coming all the time about how are you going to adapt to this weather? I'm like, well, Norway says one thing. There's no such thing as bad clothing, bad weather, but bad clothing. So I just come the expression back to people like, hello, all I have to do is to adapt. And then I'll go home and just think, oh my God, what I have done? What have I done?
Now,
So
Emily, how old are your children? You have some children, right? How old are your children, and what did
yes.
they think about the moves?
Well, they are 25 and 29 right now. And well, for every move, I made it fun. We made it fun. We're like, oh my God, new school, new friends, new adventures, new languages. Come on, we are together. It was very important to let them, to remind them that together we can manage everywhere as a
Mm.
family. And so that helped the children a lot. Even if they encountered, of course, some challenges, they were not freaking at the idea that, okay, we go into a new country because they thought, as long as we are together, then we're fine. So
Oh,
we made it our
that's
motto,
beautiful.
as long as we
Yeah.
are together, we'll be fine.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful. That's beautiful. Now, Camille, your story is a little bit different because your family already lived in Puerto Rico. So, what was your experience like?
Um, Very different from everyone else's. Very different because I was actually in culinary school and came down for my spring break, and they were moving they were renting a new, bigger house, and they showed it to me I came down for spring break. They showed it to me right before I was heading back to California, and there was a little teeny weeny apartment right next to it that was attached to it. And I said, oh, kiddingly, if it ever becomes available, let me know. Go back to California, get back to school, literally in class. We were just taking a break from whatever we were preparing. And I get a text and said the apartment's available. So I was like, okay, that wasn't quite on my radar. And, but having lived all over the United States, I'm always up for another adventure. And I only have one child. So for me, it wasn't a difficult decision. Fortunately, Omadi set my apartment up completely, all the way down to every little detail, where all I had was to get here with some clothes. And so for me, the move was easy. And when you have that kind of support, and I know It's not going to work that way for everybody, but you kind of make your way. But when you have that kind of support, you feel like you can explore easily.
Mm.
The
Mm-hmm.
only WTF moment I have and have had is the language. But in San Juan proper itself, the majority of the people speak, many of the people speak both languages. But the challenge is everybody wants to practice their English. So when they want to practice their English, it means I don't get to practice my Spanish. Little I know. So that's really the only, and the heat. And they don't do central air here for the most part. You have an air conditioner in a room. You don't, so you go like from room to room, and
Oh,
you go to that room, and yeah, there's generally speaking, there's no central air. So that for me is a little bit more of a challenge.
I see. I see. Okay. So listen, what advice would you ladies give to women who want to relocate to another country? What would you say? And don't anyone, I don't have to call on you. If something comes to mind, you could just come on, let me have it.
I,
Embrace the
I'll jump
process.
in. Oh, go ahead, Keisha.
Oh, go
Is that
ahead,
Keisha?
please.
Okay. I'll go. One of the things, and this is questions that people ask. I've run into living in Brazil. I run into a lot of people coming through Brazil. Either and a lot of young people. I'm loving it. A lot of young people come through. Um, Either traveling or working on their masters or doing some sort of schoolwork, and they're like, "Oh, I want to know, where should I live? Should I live here or Italy or where?" A lot of people are coming to decide that, and I just say, "Okay, okay," knowing that. See, I know they're going to come back to Brazil. I just know that because I love it so much, and I know so many people do. I'm just saying. However, when somebody's saying, I don't know, I really wanted to move out the country, or but I don't know where, and yada yada yada. I said, you know what? Just do it.
Mm.
I said, do it. And I think people think way so far in the future sometimes, and if they can't see it, or if they've made up something bad about it, then they don't want to go there. I said, just do it. One thing I do suggest: travel a little bit and see what hits you, what you feel when you hit the ground.
Mm.
What you
Mm-hmm.
feel when you move around in the different areas, how you when you see and look out, where you're at and what's around. How do you feel about it? What does it look like to you? And I think the feeling thing is the deepest and the most best guide on whether you should move out of somewhere. The second thing I tell people is, you know what, if it doesn't work, go back to the United States or wherever. It's not etched in stone. Once you move, you got to stay there. So just try to visit, and if it don't work, go back or try someplace else. Keep it going.
I
I
hear
love that.
you.
I love that you said that, Tendai. Like, just do it.
Yes.
And I would just offer kind of the opposite view, right? And so I tell people to travel, go visit. And we learned so much on our scouting journey. Like, we went to scout the different countries. And people think like, oh, what did you think about this place? And what did you think? What we really learned most is we learned about ourselves. We learned about who we are, who we thought we were, and who we
Yeah.
are as global citizens. And I think for me, that's one of the most important things. So I tell people to travel first. So many of these countries, we don't know how blessed we are. If you're listening to this from America, from the United States, we have a super strong passport. Let's hope it stays that way. But you can travel to so many different countries without even paying. And for some countries like Panama, you can stay for up to 6 months. I say if you have some vacation time, if you can work abroad, go try it because you'll learn about yourself, right? To see what it is that you think you want, what you really want, and the things, so many layers are unpeeled when you get out of your environment from where you are into a new culture and a new version of yourself.
Oh,
Wow.
I
I'm loving
love
that
that.
one. I really love it.
Yes.
For me, I think I would give an advice more based on once you are in a new place, because is new and everything can feel overwhelming and different. So some people panic, like, oh my God, what have I done? Have I made the right choice? So I tend to tell people, embrace the process, embrace the new culture, embrace the new place, and mingle your culture and the culture of the new place, and take the best from both culture, and build your identity that will fit to the place where you're living, so that you can actually enjoy being where you are. So,
Oh,
yeah.
that's beautiful. I love that. I absolutely love that. You ladies are the bomb. See, I told y'all. I told y'all. We had a good one coming on today, and we haven't even barely gotten started. But listen, there's so much going on in the chat that I have to I have to let us talk about. Well, let me address some of these questions that are in the chat now. Hold on, because I see that Angelo has a question, and he says, "For any or all of you panelists, have you noticed any cultural differences in how menopause is viewed or talked about where you live now?"
Yes. Yes.
Okay, what what
Where
say
where
you,
I live,
Emily?
where I live now, people don't talk much about menopause.
Yeah.
And it's quite interesting. Like, you really have to engage in the subject before people actually open up, because they're a bit embarrassed. But once they start, oh my day, then they really throw those things, and they share a lot. It's happening quite simply because I live in a country where Norwegian are quite reserved people, and they really take time to open up. But once the trust is established, then you can open up to some subjects that would otherwise not be discussed. So I've noticed a difference in the discussions in each country where I have lived. Egypt, for example, no way. We don't talk about these kind of things.
Ah.
We don't talk about that. It's too personal, so people don't discuss it. Women don't talk about that. While in here, after a while, yes, it's a subject that is actually open to discussion once you establish the comfort.
Ah, now what about Cameroon?
Hmm. Wow, I haven't lived in Cameroon for so many years that
Okay.
I wouldn't dare saying anything, because I left when I was 10,
Ah,
and
okay.
I'm
Well,
just
that
going
makes
there on
sense.
holidays. Yeah, and there, if they don't, we don't really talk about the woman. It's like, oh, why should we talk about these kind of things? So I
You
would
know,
say that I haven't had that discussion at all with any member of my family, cousins, or anyone. We don't talk
oh,
about that.
wow.
Mm.
Now, Keisha, you mentioned that you had the same experience. Tell us a little bit about that.
I did. In Panama, they are pretty conservative when it comes to personal things, just like Emily said, like talking about, feminine things. It actually has made me really grateful for the surge that is happening in the United States of us actually talking about menopause, and, people starting to put money towards studies and helping women. Because I don't care. I say stuff just like it's a regular thing, because it is a regular thing, right? And so I may
Mm-hmm.
be in an Uber or a taxi and be like, "I'm sorry, can you roll the windows down, because menopause, menopause, yeah, I'm hot." Not limited Spanish or whatever it is. But what I've noticed is kind of the same, as Emily. Even if I'm in close quarters with women, I may mention it, and they may quickly, they're kind of like, oh, like, she's bringing up something that we don't normally talk about in public. But they may say, like, oh, take this herb or this tea. One of the things that I have found, though, is that the expat community has found some great menopause doctors here. And so they share that information, and a lot of people have gotten a lot of relief with the doctors offering different things. And so I think someone mentioned that. I think Pam mentioned that in the chat. If we've noticed that if they were more well versed in menopause or not. Like I said, I haven't gone yet, but when we first got here, when we scouted, I was having joint problems with my feet, and I had a doctor's appointment. When I tell you, it was one of the most easy, personal, beautiful experiences. I told her what was wrong with my feet. She actually took my feet and touched them. Like, I'm not, usually without gloves. Like, I'm like, it was so personal.
Right.
And she prescribed, she was like, are you already taking like Tylenol? I said, yes. She didn't prescribe any drugs. She prescribed me to see a nutritionist to see how I should eat now in this stage of my life that could help. She did ask me to go get an x-ray to make sure, but I had a nutritionist who gave me a 12-page report on things to eat and how to eat them. I got the x-ray and I had the doctor's visit, and all of it was under $100 and just felt so holistic and warm.
Oh, wow. That is absolutely wonderful. I love that because that's actually one of the concerns that I had about other cultures and other countries and how they deal with menopause, not only menopause, but medical issues as well. Tendai, how are you faring in Brazil with regards to your health, and then and also the your medical experiences in terms of like expense and do they cover that, or is everything covered? Is it free, based on your age, or generally what's the what? Give us the 411.
That's a great question because it is very important, and it's something that's on anyone's mind before you move somewhere from your insurance here in the United States, or whatever it is, and you're thinking it's the greatest in the world, they keep telling us, and then you move to someone else and you're like, what if especially if you get past 40, it's like, okay, what if I fall, what if I get cold, just different things, or malaria, different things like that. So you want to have that covered. So it's an important question, and I found in Brazil that it is the same. So I had an injury, not as bad as Keisha's, but I had an injury in the United States. I fell and fractured my wrist, and I went to the doctor here and was referred to a specialist to get a cast. The doctor said, you need a cast right now. Well, the short of it is it didn't happen for 3 weeks because of the situation, the way the process here is in the United States. So I didn't get a call to get the cast until I was sitting in the airport in New York on my way back to Brazil with this fractured wrist. And so I said, I can't come in now. And so I went to Brazil. I asked my friends, it's good to have a support. It's good to have somebody you can call, either expats or people of that country. Of course, that makes sense. So anyway, I went to what we would call the public health system, sort of, clinics and stuff, free clinics.
Yes.
And I sat there and I waited all day. I waited 6 hours in the lobby, checking every once in a while how long before I see the doctor. Now, understand the biggest barrier for me in Brazil is the language, because the language is Portuguese. I speak it very little, but everyone is so patient with me about that. And you're not going to find in the area that I live in Brazil a lot of people that speak English. They're not going to be there in the stores. They're not going to be even in the excuse me, I was getting ready to say freaking airport, but I won't say that. So they don't speak English, even, so anyway, you're just not going to find it. So I'm going to the doctor, and when I got into the doctor after 6 hours of waiting, he said, in short, I can't help you, yada, 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 and you have to go see somebody else. So I went, this is what I did. I'm like Keisha said, it's so important to check yourself. It's so important to see what's going on with you and how you're changing and how you're adapting and accepting it. So I left the clinic after 7 or so hours of being there, went back, and I had the Uber drop me off at the ocean, which was about 3 blocks from my house. I said, just drop me at the ocean so I can get back in alignment, deal with this. I don't know what to do right now. It's like the book I wrote, What to Do When You Don't Know What to Do, is just don't do nothing. So I just stayed there by the ocean and the waves and all that, and let it bring me back into some sort of out of denial. And I called a friend and said, that didn't work. What do I do now? She gave me another place to go, or a specialist clinic. I went there, paid them the money. I
Hmm.
was in and out within like an hour and a half with the X-ray, seeing the doctor, getting the cast, and my appointments for my physical therapy. So, and it cost, like Keisha said, it cost like $130. Hey Ice, which was for me about $30.
Wow.
So going to the private sector and getting that done, they have the best doctors and everything. I've had to have my eyes checked. Right now I'm here to get cataract surgery, and it just, I could have got it done there, but the public health system was taking so long. I said, let me just come and check and see. Of course, it's taking just as long here. Just saying. So it's important, but I think it's available, probably more out of pocket, because people keep saying you can get international health insurance. I don't know if that's true, for where you are, Keisha, but in Panama, but that is very expensive, and it doesn't cover everything. So for me, just the two choices: go ahead and pay out of pocket, and or go through the system and the public health system and wait, take as long as it takes.
Mm. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, Pam is asking the same thing. She's asking, is there universal health care where you are? And the system, because the system here, such as it is, feels so nebulous. So yeah, I think are you asking that of Keisha, or who is that question for, Pam?
Well, there is no universal health system. There is just the public
Okay.
system, and so it's very inexpensive. I think the local folks that can, go to the doctor for like $2 and things like that. And then of course there's private insurance. I think someone's asking about Puerto Rico as well.
Yeah, I'm about to bring that up. Let me bring that up. And Kim is asking Camille, how's the healthcare system in Puerto Rico, our forgotten territory? And yes, I did want to say, yes, we all know that Puerto Rico is part of the United States, but
Yeah.
as Camille has shared, it may be a part of the United States, but there's still some differences. So, Camille, you want to speak
There are
on
actually,
that?
there are a lot of differences. The healthcare I'm able to use, well, for the moment, I'm able to use Humana down here, because I'm a senior, and but that'll go away in December 31st. We have three other healthcare for seniors down here that are part of Medicare. For Americans, it's an easy transition medically, sort of, but the challenge is the doctors are overwhelmed because they don't pay. They don't pay the doctors because the money down here and the pay for everybody down here is vastly different. And so oftentimes doctors, once they get their medical degree, unless they're committed to Puerto Rico, they decide to go to the States and make more money.
Mm.
And that's with almost any job, to be honest. The teaching and everything all down the road, the pay is vastly different. But medical, I've been very, very successful with medical that I've had. Minimal out of pocket. And I have a lot of my little network between the aqua aerobics and the Zumba. I can always ask questions and find different doctors for whatever I need. So I have been very successful. And it's not hard. You have to know your body and you have to know what you want. I see a cardiologist because I'm doing the cha-cha minimally with high blood pressure. And he and I are on the same page as keeping me off of medication. But my primary care physician is a pill pusher. So it's like, don't you want to take this? Don't you? No, I don't want to take that. What else do I need to do? Okay, well then you need to do this. Okay, I can do that. Let's keep working on that side of it. So you have to be your own advocate, which you would be anywhere. But healthcare here is a possibility. Um, you seek out and you keep working at it, and you can make it work. You can make
Mm-hmm.
it work. I have been very, very successful with all the healthcare providers that I have.
Oh, that's beautiful. What about you, Emily? How are things in Norway?
I think I live in one of the country where with the best healthcare system. Yeah, um, it's you are attended, and in here nobody talks about private insurance or anything. It's really rare. Maybe some people have it, but the public healthcare system is excellent in Norway. And I think it's one of the reasons why many people are consider Norway as a country to move to, because we really been taken care of. And getting on the subject of menopause and all the process and women's health care in general, as you know, you're reaching a certain age, they really put you in programs for checkups, and it's automatic. You will even receive a letter telling you that from this age to this age, you're going to be checked for this and that, and so forth. It's really good.
Oh, that's amazing. I
So
love that. So now, do you have to take mandatory mammograms and all of that, or
yes, they recommend it, yeah, and they send you your letter, and you have to go and do your checks. Yes, and they also put you on program for mandatory uterus check, everything, cancer, everything. Yeah.
Oh,
Hmm.
that's beautiful. I I
Yeah.
lo- I absolutely love to hear that.
Yeah.
And I'm always talking about how we can live more vibrantly. And so what I'd like to know is what do women do in your different countries to stay healthy and, dare I
Ooh.
say, sexy in midlife?
Oh my God! Here in Norway, well, I'll start. Here in Norway, people train a lot. Women really train. But it's a country where sports is natural. They walk a lot, they go to the gym, they look after their bodies. Like training is part of the culture.
Ah,
Yeah.
so I'm assuming that there's no obesity there.
There's no obesity, but you find people with overweight. But I suppose that if you compare to other countries, it's quite low.
Ah,
Um,
okay.
it's quite low, yeah. People are generally fit. Yeah. And even if they don't go to the gym or anything, outdoor activities is very important in Norway. So people there are winter activities, summer activities. Some people even swim at sea in the winter.
Oh,
So
brave.
the overall, on the overall, it's yeah, women look after them on the overall. Yeah.
Anyone else want to jump in?
I'll jump in. Here in Puerto Rico, the beaches, lots of salsa. The families are very closely connected. Fellowships are very closely connected. And people, once they get to know you, not even so much, they welcome you into their group, where you're really. It doesn't take long before you're a part of a family, so to speak. But lots of outdoor activities, not really indoors because it's hot. And the beach is one of the main places to head to, morning, noon, night, all in between, and just lots and lots of salsa. A lot of exercise, a lot of 5Ks. They have a 5K usually every somewhere on the island, every Saturday and Sunday, just about. 5Ks, 10Ks, and some longer ones as well, depending on the time of the year it is. Right now it's hot, so just the 5Ks, but further down in the year they'll have the full marathons.
Oh, nice.
Interesting.
Yeah. I love that.
Lots of beaches.
Yeah, me too.
Anyone else?
I'd like to just add to that two things. One, in terms of the health, first of all, I live in one area in Brazil. Brazil's a big country, as we all know. And so I can mostly just kind of speak from what I have observed in the area in the northeast of Brazil that I have seen. And again, it's hot up there in the summer and humid, but it's also warm all year round. So the women, and I've noticed this, don't seem to have a sense. Okay, how can I put this? Their level of modesty is different from what we might be used to here. Let me put it that way. So, the clothes are very like summer clothes all the time, most of the time, and people are at the beach a lot,
Yeah.
and they're I couldn't buy a bathing suit there. Actually, when I came back here because I needed a new bathing suit, I had to buy one from here because they don't have them that cover enough of your body for my taste. And so, at being the age that I am, which you told everybody, but like even when I was young, I didn't wear those kind of suits. So,
Oh, that
so
was
the
great.
so this happens with this from what I've observed. Again, this is me. So either if you're a big woman, a healthy woman, a grandiose, or a smaller person, you still wear these bathing suits that are very revealing. I mean,
Well,
your whole like I don't even know
I
why you wear
will
the
say
bathing suit.
I find that so like refreshing. For me, it's super refreshing because like even I get it Tendai. Like I sometimes I be looking at the stuff like, baby, this is not gonna fit me. But however, I will say the women out here too in Panama is tropical. We're near the equator. Everybody's always in, shorts, but you will see people from 8 years old to
Mhm.
68 in crop tops in
Okay.
little teeny shorts. Like we don't, it's not the same body image thing of
Yeah.
looking extremely
Yeah.
young and extremely thin. Like people don't have that. Like here, I feel like, oh, I can wear shorts. I only start feeling weird about it when I go back to the States. And I'm like, oh, I can't wear this in the States or I can't, and then I have to check myself like, wow, like, look at how different literally just from our
Yeah.
clothes, right? We start feeling the cultural differences between the places where we are and the places that we've been. But there is not, and not to say everyone has their, sense of beauty and what people want to
Right.
aspire to, but it's just not the same. Everybody is not trying to look super thin, super young. People aren't looking at folks judging, their bodies out here. It's just at the beach. Everybody is just like, this is me. And I find it so incredibly refreshing.
Yes, it's
wow.
liberating. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
liberating. You
It
can
is.
be just who you are,
Who you are.
and like Keisha said, there's no judgment. You just wear what you wear. You're comfortable in it. People wear it. It's just the thing. It doesn't matter how old you
It
are,
doesn't matter.
your body size or shape or whatever. You just are comfortable wearing. It is a different way of looking at what you judge and what's not right and what's right and all this kind of
It's
Yeah.
exactly the
Yeah.
same here in
I
Puerto
have
Rico.
to share a joke about
It's
it.
exactly the same in Puerto Rico. They just there's no there's no women are revered here. Women are highly respected here.
Mm.
And the way men treat women here is very, very different from the States. And because my students, the young ladies in the they the first semester I was amazed at what they didn't wear to class. They just didn't. I mean, just minimal clothing, and the men just weren't all over them like you would see or think in the States. It's just not a thing. You just
yeah,
wear what you're comfortable wearing, and it's just
yep,
it doesn't matter how big you are. It doesn't matter how small you are. It's just not a thing.
yep.
I gotta tell
Wow.
you a small joke about this one. I have to share. Okay, bless my mom. She rest in peace now. Well, mother is, from Cameroon, and in Cameroon, it's not swimming is not like a culture for many people. Many people are actually afraid of going in the water. So when my mom started traveling to us, coming to us when we lived in Tenerife in the Canary Islands, I bought her a bathing suit, and mom is, strong. She used to be strong, and she was like, "I ain't getting into that thing, girl." I was like, "Yeah, mom, you are, because in here, you're gonna walk to the beach. You're gonna go with me, and you're gonna show off there because people don't care." And she was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it." And so she wore it and she was so embarrassed. And when she came to the beach, she realized that, oh, I might be big, but they're bigger than me. And nobody cares. She was so busy looking around her, like, okay, who is watching my bum now? Who is doing this? And nobody was looking at her. And she was like, oh, they don't even pay attention. I was like, yeah, sorry, mom, you missed. Yeah, you're right. Nobody will pay attention. And so when I took pictures of her and she shared with her friends. Oh my God, that day she got so many calls like, did you dare going half naked in front of people? Didn't they judge you? Oh my God, did you dare? And then the supposedly most embarrassing moment. My God, did you show your body to your son-in-law? Did you? What? What? And your daughter let you do that, and your son-in-law didn't say anything. Mom was like, "Oh my God, where have I landed?" I just had to share that one because that was excellent. Like, oh,
I
did you show your
love
body to your
that.
son-in-law? Well,
Oh, that brings up my experience when I did my first bodybuilding competition. I invited all of my children and my grandchildren, and right before I was about to go on stage, I was thinking, oh my gosh, my grandson, my sons are they're gonna see me in this practically a thong on stage. And I was like, oh my gosh, too late now. But, everybody was doing it. So it wasn't like it was any different. And I have to say, even though I had that experience, I'm still hesitant about going to the beach in a bikini and here in the United States. And so it's refreshing to know that when we leave the United States, that people are not fixated on body image in the way that we are here. So I absolutely love these stories, and I have to say, this chat is blowing up. So let me just take a couple more questions here. Angelo said, "For all the panelists, what roles do food and movement play in how you manage your menopausal health overseas? And for example, have local foods or new habits helped ease those symptoms?"
For me, I'll say that exercise is key. I try to walk as much as I can. Um, as we know, I'm in a Zumba group and an aqua aerobics group that's going to shift a bit for the fall, for my fall semester, but there are ways I can still get my exercise in. I'm careful with what I eat. Um, Also, for those who are meat eaters, I'm not a big meat eater. In the house, I don't typically cook meat, but for meat eaters here, the chicken and the beef here are better than any I've ever had. All of the beef is grass fed. All the chicken is well cared for, and it's not transported to another location where it's in a hot truck for who knows how long and until it's harvested. Here, everything is done right at the same location, so it's much fresher. It's much cleaner. For anyone who eats beef in the states, the majority of the beef is corn fed, and cows are unable to digest corn.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so here, all of the beef is grass fed, period. Um, so the meat here is a much higher quality. What little I do eat is all the meat here is a much higher quality. The vegetables, predominantly root vegetables here, taro, yuca, sweet potato, yam, starchy vegetables, plantains. Um, those are the easy ones to get. The other ones can be a little more difficult. They're available, but not as available as they would be, say, in the states. As far as but it's doable. I've been able to manage my well. I'm sampling a little more food than I should. But other than that, I mean, it's a new taste. I want to taste what everything is. I want to taste. But other than that, a lot of starch. A lot of starch. They'll eat rice with lasagna here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a lot. Yeah, a lot of starch. But so I don't do that. But yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
I can just say, for in terms of here and even abroad, because I was going through menopause when we did the 13-month 9-country journey. I actually had gotten like my last period. It was like, yay! And so I was really starting that journey. But I will say one of the things that I noticed is the less stressed I am, the less symptoms I have. And so that has been one of the biggest things that I've noticed here. And I think if we think about it really, you'll notice like if you're stressed, the more hot flashes or things that you'll have. And so the fact that I can walk right down to the beach or go out here to my balcony and see the jungle, like is a balm to my parasympathetic nervous system. And so the fact that I have these things in my environment that decrease my stress, like it's just made my body, I think, just kind of grease the wheels so that it can, make this very natural, right, cycle, our ending cycle, right, in terms of our reproductive system. I think that is enabled it to make the adaptation so much quicker because so many of my symptoms are just either, I mean, I still have a lot, but so many are gone or non-existent as compared to when I was in the US.
Mm, that's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, hearing
I hear what Keisha's saying and um and Camille also that you become part of something. And I noticed there's two differences. One, when I lived in China, um, the culture had a culture of health.
Yeah.
It's part of just your beingness. And for older people, more mature, aging gracefully folks, like Emily says, um, it was just what you do on the corners of the streets when you're waiting to cross the street. They had jungle gym type stuff where people could stretch right there on the corners. So you don't have to just stand there. It just becomes a part of your movement through your day. There's availability for it because it's a whole culture that wants to have their, especially their elders be healthy. So it made it easy for you to do that. And the parks that they had, the dancing that they do, and all of that was happening in China. In Brazil, I don't feel like it's a cultural thing as much, or even an organization organized, but there's so much walking that you do. It's like a natural thing. Like for me, when I moved there, and I walk everywhere. I don't even have to think about it. I wasn't trying to lose any weight. I wasn't trying to pay attention that much to my diet. I was just living there the best you can coming into a new country. And I lost 15 pounds. And people were looking at me like, are you okay? My roommate says, when I came back to visit, she says, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. She says, no, no, really. Are you okay? Are you really sick? I'm like, no, no, I'm good. I said, what's wrong? She said, you just lost so much weight. I said, I have? I not noticed because I wasn't trying to. But and I noticed I've gained some since I've been back here. So it's a lifestyle. When it
Yep.
becomes a lifestyle, anywhere you are, it's something that is, you don't have to wake up thinking, oh, I got to do this today or I got to go here today. You just move through your day doing healthy things and that you've, cultivated in your life, and let it be a lifestyle. And that seems to be what works for me. And I've learned that since I've been there.
Wow.
Same
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Tendai and
beautiful.
yeah, Tendai and I know each other. So she knows that I'm an advocate for aging gracefully. And the first thing I always say is that regardless of where you live, it's really a choice. And as Tendan is saying, it's a lifestyle. But it starts with the choice that you make for yourself. So I always tell people that it's not really where you live, but it's really what you decide to do with your own diets and your own life that makes a big difference as well. Of course, it makes it easy in countries like Norway, where you have fish, a lot of fish available, a lot of vegetable available, a lot of food that is also imported, greens and so on from everywhere. But you adapt to the fruit of the season. You learn to combine foods that burn fats in a natural way without necessarily forcing your body into, as I call them, yo-yo diets. Because I keep telling people, when you do those heavy diets, it's just a matter of time before you all catch up again. So learn to eat properly and learn to take care of your body in a natural way, so that your goals when it comes to health are long-term goals, and not only, oh, summer is approaching, now I need to lose weight and I want to be slim. And I tell people it's not all about losing weight, but it's all about living a healthy life. So that's what I try to do here. I walk a lot. We have forests, and like when there was during COVID, for example, despite the lockdown, I felt like I was free. We could go everywhere, and we could really continue taking care of our body. And the last thing that I want to add up is that the soil is not as healthy as it used to be. So I really recommend people to use supplements. And that's one of the things. Supplement is part of my diet. So, that's what I wanted to share.
What supplements do you take?
Well, I do take, for example, depending on when and how, I take vitamin K and D. Then I make sure that I have my collagen under control. I make sure that I also have an extra intake of protein that I mix in my food. And in my water, I use natural mixes that help me clean with antioxidants that help me clean my system.
Mhm.
So I'm not in all you eat, in a lot of the things you eat. Of course, you can supplement your body with diets and drink. But what happens is that we have to be realistic. Not everybody is disciplined or has time to do the proper mixes in order to supplement the body with what we need. So that's the kind of thing that I take. And when it comes to inflammation as well, I drink natural herbs, herbal teas, like rosemary tea and so forth. But I also take supplements for against inflammations. So yeah, that's about it.
Okay, that's beautiful. And we're going to go back and take some more of these questions. Pam G has a question for any of you. She says, assuming that community is important to you, have you found your community where you're residing and has into the transition and has it into transition into your new community? Has your transition into your new community been smooth? Okay, there we go.
I want to take this one. Well, anyone can take it, but one of the things here, it seems to me as though it is easy. Um, every community that I've joined, I'm in a crochet group. Didn't know how to crochet when I first got down here, other than just a little bit. Um, great group, great group of people to the point where if you're stuck somewhere, they'll come on another day entirely from the meeting. We only meet once a week, and they'll sit with you and get things done. My aerobics group and everybody is really helpful. But you just kind of make your own. You start with one group, and that leads you to another group, and that leads you to another fellowship. Here, I have found it to be super simple. So
Hmm. Whew, Norway is challenging. I wouldn't talk out of personal experience because I'm ex- I'm introvert and extrovert at the same time. So I go to people and I talk to people. So I managed to create a great community around me, and I love gathering people. So it's so I draw people to me, and from there I connect people. I'm a connector. But I would say that for other people, it can be challenging. When you come on holidays and everything, Norwegians are very open and they're really, really lovely in that aspect. When you come to leave, it takes time. They observe you. You seem like it's you. People struggle a lot before they are eventually integrated. And once they integrate you, they are absolutely amazing people. But a lot of people that I speak to struggle with integration.
Now,
Yeah.
when you say integration, what exactly are you referring to? And how long have you lived in Norway?
Yeah. So I've lived in Norway 13 years now.
Okay.
And many people feel like they don't manage to make connections with Norwegian people because Norwegian people are very careful. You know, they take a lot of time before they actually integrate you in their circle, welcome you in their circle. And a lot of people struggle with that. So often it's communities are created between foreigners moving to Norway rather than foreigners with Norwegian. But again, once they open their doors and their hearts, they are absolutely amazing people. Absolutely amazing. And I love living here. And one thing that I love with Norway is that Norwegian people are not stressed people. Like when I lived in France, I always say that French people are stressed, naturally stressed, while in Norway, they are quiet and easygoing, but they're very reserved as well. So you never really know what to do. You don't know if it's because they don't accept you or if it's because they're just reserved. So one has to really learn to know them before they open their door in their hearts. And once it's done, perfect.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, we've got another question here from Angelo, and he is saying, what daily practices do you use to help you feel grounded and well, mentally, emotionally, or physically? Who would like this question?
Well, I will say this is not for me, but I'm going to brag on my husband a little bit because, we're in this together. And I will say I've been super, super proud of him because ever since we took the initial 13-month journey, he started a practice of meditating every morning, and not just kind of like me. I have meditation in a whole bunch of things, and walking and looking at nature. Like, he has a practice that is like 30 minutes to over an hour. And he did it straight for, I want to say, like 380 days when we were on that journey and beyond. And now it is a regular practice of his morning. And it's been such a great, huge benefit to him. For me, again, like I said, just literally getting up in the morning and walking out and just being still, listening to the birds, looking at all the trees. I noticed leaves and flowers that have never been there before. I am not an insect person, but I may even look at something and be like, but it's green. It's kind of cute. But just like, the amount of awareness, you know what I mean? Like, because we have slowed down, like, mentally, and not just the slowing down. I think it's also about the noise, right? When you're at home, you're surrounded by everything, you're going, 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 and there's so much stuff coming in. When you move, if you allow yourself to, you get the opportunity to be still and notice. Just notice, like, what is around you and what's different, and even noticing yourself and how you react differently. If you would have told me 5 years ago that I would be engaging with insects, I would have been like, oh, you don't know me. Right. But like, now I can watch, dragonflies fly around me and see frogs on our windows and, all kind of stuff. It's amazing. So I think for me, that would be both of our kind of more of a daily practice, and more so just a daily awareness of both the environment and how we are inside of it.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Okay,
Mhm.
we've got another question here. Angelo is just full of questions. He's saying, if you could go back and give your pre expat self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Do it again.
Ah,
What
okay.
what did she say?
Do it
Do it
again.
again. Yep. Do it again.
Okay, I
Yeah.
love that. I love that.
Yeah.
So, no regrets.
No
No,
regrets at
no
all.
regrets.
Yeah,
Traveling in
well,
different
oh,
countries,
it's a new
and
year.
yeah, traveling to different countries has been like amazing for me and my family, because we have opened up to other cultures. We've learned from people, and people have learned from us. We have, learned other languages. We have adapted to other cultures, and it's opened one's mind when it comes to understanding other people and understanding oneself. So if I had to go back, I would travel even more, and I would do it again and again. So that's the one piece of advice I would tell the younger me. You should
I
have done
love
it
it.
earlier. You should have started earlier.
Ah, that's
My
beautiful.
my thing
Yeah,
would
no,
definitely be to start learning Spanish earlier.
yes,
It's
yes,
not too late. I can teach you.
Yeah, I mean, because
yeah.
communication is key, right? When you're, if you're really trying to, and I know Emily talked about integration, right? And I think, that, and really just the feeling like you're grounded. It's hard to, you may want to interact with people, and people may want to interact with you, right? But with the language barrier, it's still an energy exchange, but it makes it difficult to take things a step further. So
Right.
I think that would be, for myself, that would be one of my pieces of advice is to start learning the language. For someone else, my advice is, so we call this the audacity to be free. That is our journey. That is the name of what I believe in, and kind of my ministry, if you call it that. And so my advice would be to start being free exactly where you are, in the moment of where you are. Because I think we think about freedom in a very abstract term, and we need to start figuring out what freedom means for ourselves individually and personally. And you
Yeah.
can do that wherever you are. You don't have to move first. And that would be my advice to someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I
I
would
love
suggest
that.
to folks would be, just adding to what has been stated already, is to get to know as many countries as you can, and even places wherever it is you live, even in, like if in the United States or wherever. Get to know and be familiar with what you can, because there is so much available to us now. The first time you hit Brazil or the first time you hit Mexico does not have to be your first time engaging in it, because you have YouTube like this, you have Facebook, you have videos, you have movies, you have services online that you can talk to people from other countries. You never have to have been there or even planning to go there, but you have can learn another language, like Keisha says. You can learn different cultures, have different conferences, and just there's a myriad of ways you can get connection with a country and or other countries without leaving your chair, so that you don't feel like you've never been anywhere or done anything, or you can't go. What Wherever you are in your life, whatever you have available to you, use that to get to know outside of where you are. And then when you are able, if you want to go, then you have a whole nother level of learning and opportunities and thing, but you're not starting cold. I mean, that would be helpful. You don't have to do it that way, but yeah, just expand where you are right now, which what you've got in front of you, and then build.
That's beautiful. And so, in these last few minutes, I want to acknowledge each one of you and what your businesses are and what you have going on. And so, Keisha, tell us about your Elevate Your Now and some of the work that you're doing.
Sure. Yes. Thank you. I'm in my 10th year of business. We're celebrating our 10th year. I am a coach and a consultant. Right now, I've been an entrepreneur for over a couple of decades. I didn't want to say it. That sounds so long, but and so my journey has always been helping women really start expanding into more of their calling, because I feel like calling leads to freedom, calling leads to your divine path. And so, inside of that calling, how can we build wealth, right? Not because you want, seven figures or you want to be rich, but because wealth gives you options, right? You have choices and options, whether it be for your health, whether it be for giving, whether it be for where you live. And then also, how can you create impact, right? And how can you marry all of these things that are in your heart? And so now I'm doing what I call audacity retreats. I believe we have to be audacious in this time and space right now. It will take audacity to take you out of the normal lived life and into something that frees not just your body and where you are, but frees your spirit and frees, more of you to come out and be expanded, into. I think that is what this has done for us more than anything else. It has allowed us to be more of who we are. I don't even know. I wouldn't have known 5 years ago the woman that I am today. right? This whole journey has allowed me to open up my whole family, really, to be honest, because we went on this journey with my 23-year-old and my 21-year-old. And so it's allowed us to see a new version of ourselves that we would have never been able to see in our limited space.
That is so beautiful, Keisha, and what is so wonderful about that is that you did that with your family and exposed them to a world that they may not have ever seen before, and that is absolutely wonderful. I'm so in awe of what you did and what you're doing and the work that you're doing in the world. Tendai, what do you have going on besides your badass book?
BaddAss boundaries.
That's right.
Learning to say no without guilt to those things and to those groups and those people where we're not raised or socialized as women to do, and to take care of everyone else's needs before our own. And that can lead to overwhelm. It could lead to being tired. It could lead to sometimes resentment on people that you love because they're quote unquote taking you for advantage. So I feel like women, as the divine, feminine, creative, nurturing, loving, wonderful spirits that we are innately, that sometimes we get caught up in some ideas that have been professed by some folk that we're just here to serve and to, be everybody's everything. And once we learn, as I go through, if you go through the program I have, embracing your power, we're actually very powerful. And once we learn how to say no without guilt and to whom we should say it when we want to, then we open up space for ourselves to have time for ourselves. Self-care, that's primary. Self-care is primary for us, not just health-wise, but for psychologically, mentally, spiritually. Self-care is important because women have an important role in building a world that we all want to live in. And that's kind of coming from the spiritual center that I am a part of. But really, we are contributing to the world to be a better place, one person at a time. But if we're blocked by some social ideas that are not beneficial for us or the world, we need to move past that. So I enjoy seeing and hearing stories that women have of overcoming, of their victories. And when we share those stories, it uplifts not only other women, but it also is healing for us. So I've been working on that, but primarily starting with inside yourself.
That's
Inside yourself
that's
and being happy
beautiful.
and just creating the life. And so I try to, if I'm doing that, if I'm trying to profess that, right? If I'm professing that and call myself teaching it and offering services, I better do it also. So that keeps me, that keeps me going and dealing with myself
And you're
primarily.
doing it. And
Yeah.
you're
And
doing it
living life.
gracefully.
I remember one day I was in my apartment and I just started weeping because I was so happy.
Oh,
I just started weeping.
wow. That, not many people can say that, especially in these days and times, but I love that. I love that we can have that energy and know and have that feeling that, wow, everything is wonderful in my world and I am happy. And so I love that for you.
Yeah.
I love that for you. And I want that and wish that for everyone, actually,
Yes.
because and I can see from all of you ladies that life is grand. Life is grand, and this is what I have been wanting to share with women for a long time, is that We don't have to succumb to the wiles of the world. We can be happy just where we are. We can be happy with our families. We can be happy within ourselves, just as we are. And I do want to say that everyone's contact information is in the description below. But Emily, what is going on with you right now? You've got a lot going on. So tell us what we can look out for.
Oh my God. Well, yes, I have a lot going on, but I'm gonna try to cut it short. Otherwise, we're here for another hour. But the main thing I'm focusing on, over the last years, and I'm really building this, is realizing that, health and wealth are two main area of concern for a lot of people. So what I have done is, in my quest for aging gracefully, I'm teaching other women how they can improve their health in a non stressless way, and with methods that are so much more easy than what they think. And I also help to create passive incomes as they are looking after their health. So by doing so, I'm covering health and wealth together. And you talk about my book earlier, A Thought a Day, and I believe that anything you start is build your health and build your health. And we start by introspection. When you know who you are, where you go, when your mindset is in place and your health, and you know how to look after your health, then that opens door to so much. Then you can build your health, your wealth as well. So a thought today is a introspection for everyone who is interested in learning and discovering and working towards the better version of oneself. So this is what I do. I'm very focused on the growth, the self growth, and the search of health and wealth through a better version of yourself.
Oh, that is absolutely brilliant. I absolutely love it. And so, everyone, as I said, Emily's information, as well as everyone else's information, is in the description. So please go there, check it out, and connect with them. Camille, what is going on in Puerto Rico?
Oh goodness. Um, I don't even know where to start. One of the things I work with my students on helping them see a bigger picture. Um, we do a lot of dialogue questions and working with giving them a bigger picture of how they can be a part of Puerto Rico's growth. And I'm saying that to say Bad Bunny is doing his share. He's doing everything he can. So I always encourage my students to give me what is yours to do. What is yours beyond the millions that you want to acquire? What is yours to do? About Puerto Rico is really information about why Puerto Rico is having the hardships that it has. Um, it is by design, which is not difficult to understand. Um, Puerto Rico has been a place of great capital wealth for the United States, but to the detriment, of course, of Puerto Rico. We're working on getting the students reading. We're working on building community, rebuilding community, um, and really helping everyone come together to fight and for us to be everything that Puerto Rico can be because it's an incredible place to live, um, community wise. Um, but it has some challenges that we have not had control over, which have caused a lot of which have caused a lot of hardships in the bigger picture. So we're coming together piece by piece to really make a difference and to be everything that we can possibly be.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for that. And at this point, I just want to say thank you, ladies, for joining me today on this live. This has been wonderful. I have enjoyed everything that you have said. I've learned some things, and I hope that you in the audience has learned some things as well. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for joining us. And please, please, please get in contact with these ladies, get their books, join their programs, and because they are phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And I am blessed to have met and know them all. And so I just want to say thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much
you, Betty,
for,
because you are
Thank
phenomenal as
you.
well.
Thank
You
you,
are
Ellen.
just
It's been
Pleasure.
fabulous.
thank
Absolutely.
you.
I've learned a lot too.
Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
true.
And I'm so grateful for the questions from the chat, because I had my questions and I was like, okay, you know what? Let me just put my questions to the side and and let you guys know, ask your questions. And it was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Obrigada. Muito obrigada.
Okay. So everyone say goodbye in your native language.
Ciao, ciao.
Yes.
Oh, native language. Okay, Walabwa.
Ah,
hasta luego.
okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us,
Bye.
and we will see you next time on Crazy Sexy Menopause. Take care. Bye.
Bye.